Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Well, yesterday, a series of Mexican drug lords, described as such, appeared in the the SDNY Magistrates Court. This was a deal. This was made sort of suddenly. 26 cartel members extradited or flown from Mexico to New York. Now, the issue was, we covered a number of them. You can find them on Inner City Press, but one that's semi-high profile, Servando Gomez-Martinez, known as La Tuta. He was a teacher in Michoacan when he fought the Zetas, but then he replaced the Zetas. He became, according to the indictment, a drug dealer himself. Some have said he engaged in human sacrifice. I don't know, maybe just because it's Mexico, but certainly there's some serious allegations against him. But he was in court yesterday, very articulate. He's a former school teacher. He's saying that he wasn't actually extradited at all. He was saying that there's no legal process. And there was another guy that said the same thing. Now, of course, some people say, you know, all bets are off in terms of flying people, whether it's out of the U.S. or into the U.S. But I expect these have been assigned to various judges. One has gone to Judge Kodal. We can expect to see the extradition issues raised, I believe. I spoke to some defense counsel. I won't get into who, but these issues will be arising in the Mexican drug cases. And we're going to follow them for just as a matter of legal schmiegel, as they call it. Speaking of legal schmiegel and immigration, Judge Kaplan, who issued the TRO about conditions at 26 Federal Plaza, included in his order, toothbrushes must be given. Well, yesterday, the U.S. Attorney's Office returned and said toothbrushes can be weapons. And so it's going to be tooth wipes. Also, they say they can't provide interpreters for legal calls. They don't do it elsewhere, and they're not going to do it there. I don't know what... This is a request, basically. They did it as kind of a status letter, like, we're just not doing it. That's not how it works with Judge Kaplan. So we'll see how that works for them. Now, we did yet another unsealing filing. We have one pending as to yoga to the people. But we also now have one, Mr. Arkan. He pled guilty to campaign finance structuring for Eric Adams. Eric Adams, of course, famously was then dropped. But Arkan had already pled guilty, so he's probably not going to get much jail time. He's asked for 0 to 6 is his guidelines, and he thinks he's going to get less than that. But his lawyer has sealed all of his letters in Pacer. First he filed it, then he said, let me seal it. And basically his memo is in with redactions, but the letters are gone. Well, that's exactly what would happen in the case of Greenwood, which we fought long and hard to the Second Circuit and got it remanded, a victory for unsealing. So we've sought to unseal them. The only problem is that his sentencing is tomorrow, and our letter, now on the docket, says that it has to be dealt with before the sentencing. I would say so, otherwise it's not that newsworthy. Look at the Greenwood people still fighting. There's still no ruling on them getting free lawyers, by the way, to do that. So this is the fight for transparency. This is journalism, but not what the UN says. The UN says journalism is asking softball questions for them to express deep concern. No questions about the waste of money, about the abuses, even in their cutback, which is well-deserved. Their cutback, however, is infused with corruption in which younger staff members are having to pay bribes to keep their job. Yes, we reported it and we named names, and they haven't answered at all. But we're going to keep pushing it. We replied to re-enter. That was June 19th. There's been no answer. Melissa Fleming, absolutely irresponsible. Let me not say she's incompetent. She actually is pretty good at getting the internet cleansed for the UN and owning the science, as she once put it. But that's about it. Okay, Inner City Press, we're going in. We might have some state court action. Look behind me now. There it is. But for now, we're going into court. Inner City Press, to be continued.